Anyway, welcome today to the MotoBaum adventure, MotoBaum, Virginia. I gotta say both because it's always an adventure. And I'm usually in Virginia. That's where I'm from. That's where most of all this great action happens. And today is super cloudy. We're just hoping to get to work without getting wet. Man, I was watching this, I think it's Motomissle. Somebody else I follow. I just don't see this stuff pop up very often, and kind of get why. Expressing how relationship has gone sour and been a second one in like many years, and he finds out that the person that he thought loved him has not loved him for 2 or plus years. And you can't always bank on what the other person says. They say things out of their own depression, their own world of stuff. And if you, the partner or the other person, take that personally, and you got your own guilt and shame about you and yourself, and are not secure, yeah, doesn't mean there's not room for improvement. Doesn't mean there's things you can look at and surrender. But if you're not secure in that, man, you're in for a world of hurt when another human being decides they're tired of you. You know, when they're tired of you, they're tired of themselves. And so they say everything is a self thing to help. If you need, you can't help nobody else, but what you can do is you can help yourself in that journey of accepting others and accepting yourself and receiving your own love and forgiveness, and not living in your past and misery and poor you and all the self-pity that comes along with it. I mean, it seems justified when you're living by your ego, and the ego's where all the traps happen. And lots of friends and family will support your ego, and other people, because they want to demand, that they're in the right as well, and haven't been wrong and don't have to change nothing, but that they just don't see it, Yeah, there's a lot involved in this stuff, but it's really simple once you get in and get a change of heart and a change of how you look at things. And man, without a higher power, you're doomed. You're working with the same power you've always had, and with the same results, and with the same feelings and emotions, and just the same, everything. And it's insanity. Yet you repeat it over and over and over and over. Yeah, well, that's my story. And when you get a glimpse of something that can free you from that insanity, man, your life can be more joyous, for real. You can get what you've always been looking for when you surrender and you see the greater good, and you have love and compassion for the person who doesn't accept you anymore, and knowing that in reality, other than the things you can look at yourself, your own character defects, of course, and then you become free of those things. You're like, man, let me tell you, you don't have to live this way, you don't have to feel this way. There is so much more to you and your higher power, God, your life, than you'd ever know. You gotta be willing to reach out, And you can't be depending 100% on, you know, well, friends and family and support is all great for, you know, it's like a certain amount of time. Yeah, you're welcome. It's okay. That was some of my anger, you know, kind of looking at somebody like, man, you don't appreciate what I do. I did something nice for you, and all you did is give me a grumpy ass look. That's negativity. Negativity. You have to get eyes to see, right? We don't know. We have not walked in those moccasins, and it ain't none of my business. It ain't none of my business how far those moccasins have walked, or where they walked, or nothing. Grace of God, there goes I. Those moccasins have not only been mine, they can be mine again. Now my moccasin needs to be, watch what the hell you're doing out here on the road. Got wet patches. And all these missiles, all these four-wheeled missiles. That's just how you gotta look at them. They're little missiles, and they're usually directed at you. Always gotta know they're armed and ready for you. So you have to have your full armor on and do the best you can, right? In your defenses, just like relationships, right? Almost, I don't know. But everything kind of correlates somehow. But yeah, once I got over my self-pity and my relying and calling on friends to soothe my ego every night when I was in pain and misery of a loved one not accepting you and dropping you, and all of a sudden you feel like, oh man, you could go anywhere with that stuff, you know, if you're not mature or growing in your spirituality and your character, and you can act like a little teenage baby. You can act like a little girl, a little boy, a baby. I'm gonna get back, and you hurt me, and that sucks. I did all this for you, and blah 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 blah, and I got no money left. Oh wow, you know, all the things that can come in and just, wow, take over and consume your life. No room for joy, no room for love, no room for forgiveness, no room for moving on. Just moving to hell on with your emotions. I ain't saying moving to hell on and, you know, dropping everything like, you know, like it's meaningless to you. Taking a look at yourself, move on. Take a look at yourself, Dean. What can you do today to have love and joy and be able to give that to other members of your human race? It doesn't have to be just friends and family. And that's what I need in my life. That's what really brings me joy and full freedom and happiness, is the giving and the receiving of love. And you haven't really truly received that for yourself through a higher power. You're left with your ego and your character defects and your own devices, and filling voids, constantly filling voids with money, property, and prestige, they call it. Yeah, that's some, what, AA, NA, 12-step stuff, but I mean, it all works. They're all tools to help you take a look at your problem. If you never look at your problem and stop blaming others, you'll be stuck in a cyclone of ruts and no answers, no solutions to anything, because you're just upstairs thinking about poor old you and all your problems and all the things that have happened to you, and how much you hurt, and how much you don't deserve that, and how much this and that, instead of receiving love, patience, tolerance, forgiveness. These are all spiritual principles. These are all things that have been developed by God to help us live here on earth and to help. In essence, you know, you can look at it as serving your God, or making your God. Your God's always happy, right? It should be. Shouldn't have to do anything make him happy or look disappointed at you, or, you know, whatever. He knows he got love, total love, right? That's what we want to come from. It's something with unconditional love, right? I mean, if I got a bonfire in my back pocket and it's burning my ass, yeah, I'm gonna pull it out and get rid of it or put it out, right? You know, something that's totally physically hurting me, you know. But is it the bonfire's fault? Not really. How did it get there? Well, there seems to be the problem. How the hell did it get in your back pocket? I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Yeah, just, you know, kind of a summary. If you're suffering or you're in pain because of what you presume to be the actions of another, you don't need to be there. You don't need to be there. Once you look at it, you look at your own character defects, you look at the things you've struggled with in your life, you find out what has brought hate and resentments and anger, and which all causes pain made by emotions and feelings because of a lack of love, which is the healer. You begin to realize that there are new possibilities and that there is hope. And if you could just see that, you know, if you don't know what it is that's hurting you, you cannot put on the full armor of anything. You know, they say put on the full armor of God, be prepared, right? Have all your shit, you're mounted up and you're ready to take on, you know, anything, because you're invincible today. You have, you know, higher powers protection for real. Yeah, that's kind of a preachy sermon. It may even sound a little religious stuff, but man, that religious stuff works just great unless you get caught in the actual, like, religion. I don't know what you get caught in. The hypocritic thing, the this and the that, and you know, being militant and very strict and whatever, and casting out everything in your life because you're making judgments on it. Yeah, that can be unattractive. I'm glad people prayed for me. I'm glad there's people who didn't always want to be around me and kind of let me know that, and made me feel like I wasn't good enough, but I was the one who wasn't good enough. Because I wasn't loving myself, and who wants that around them? Somebody who's hating on themselves. You can't bear much of that, or somebody who's totally lying to themselves. You know, it's hard in a relationship. If you're making that evident and you're not looking at those things, you know, that other person's either going to have enough of you or they're going to have enough of themselves, right? And because they're not in a spiritual place either. And sometimes, you know, breakup can be super beneficial. Can be just what you were looking for, but you didn't know it because your fragile ego wanted to be in self-pity, and poor you, and you couldn't keep what you thought you always wanted. And how dare somebody, you know, mess with that stuff. You're a good person. You are Mr. Awesomeness. Well, just saying, there's always room to take a look at things and try different stuff and remove that type of pain from your life. I'm here ready for work. I will catch up with you cats later. And I didn't get wet or rained on. What a miracle. 2 words on the way home. I spilled all my beans this morning. It don't feel like Friday. Friday never feels like Friday to me. Saturday's my Friday. Left? Okay. I'm just glad to be home. Good old motovlog in this morning. I was happy with some of that stuff. Kind of can't wait to hear it again. I get a lot of therapy just listening to my own stuff that I share with y'all.